Today we will learn all about Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. It is one of the very important topics that is consistently asked for many other examinations. First of all, what is the objective of the act? The objective of the act is to protect the plants and animals, the flora and fauna of the country. It was enacted in the year 1972. We will discuss the features one by one. The declaration and protection of wildlife sanctuaries and national parks is one of its duties. The central government appoints the Director of Wildlife Preservation and other assistant directors. Here the state governments appoint a Chief Wildlife Warden. Now we enter into the very important session. What are the bodies which are constituted under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972? Here the first body is the National Board for Wildlife. It is chaired by Prime Minister. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the Vice Chairperson. The approval of projects is the main aim of this or main duty of this body. It approves projects near the sanctuaries like in 10-kilometer radius. It is always an advisory body. It is advisory in nature. Similar to this, there is a State Board for Wildlife. It is chaired by the Chief Minister of the state and its main job is formulation of policies. Other important bodies, National Tiger Conservation Authority, which is established in 2005. The Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the chairperson. The central government, on the recommendation of the NTCA, declares an area as Tiger Reserve. So this is an important statutory body under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It is chaired by Environment, Forest and Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And National Tiger Conservation Authority recommends central government to declare a Tiger Reserve. Another important one is Central Zoo Authority. It is also constituted under Wildlife Protection Act. The Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the chairperson. The main objective of the body is to draft guidelines for zoos. For example, the transfer of animals both nationally or internationally. Another important body is Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. What is the duty of this body? It collects and collates the intelligence related to organized wildlife crime activities. So it has established a centralized wildlife crime data bank. Now let's talk about schedules. There are 6 schedules in Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The first schedule covers endangered species and very important schedule that includes Bengal tiger, snow leopard, etc. The animals which are covered under Schedule 1 is heavily protected and there is huge punishment for poaching, killing, etc. of these animals. Likewise, Schedule 2 also comprises animals with high protection. In case of Schedule 3 and 4, it is not including animals which are endangered, but still the amount of protection is high on these schedules. When it comes to Schedule 5, the schedule contains animals that are considered as vermin. That means small wild animals that carry disease and destroy plants and food. This particular category, the animals can be hunted. So Schedule 5 contains animals which are called as vermin. They can be hunted. The last schedule which is mentioned is Schedule 6. It provides the regulation in cultivation of some specified plants and restricts its possession, sale, etc. So the plants which are included in this cannot be cultivated without the prior permission of the competent authority. One more important information is that the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, the forest and protection of wild animals and birds was transferred from state list to concurrent list. So the protection of wild animals and birds is now in the concurrent list, which is transferred from the state list by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So thank you for listening to the class. Please subscribe, share and like the video.